everybody, welcome back to another episode of Sport Federation TV, where of course on a weekly basis we take a look at sport in the Western Cape across the various districts right here on of course on Cape Town TV. Nice to have you along. We've got a nice full show for you this evening. We're going to be taking a look at what's happening with Western Cape kickboxing. Western Cape climbing has got their junior championships coming up this weekend, and we're also going to, in a second or so, take a look at what's happening in the world of handball. In fact, joining me on the line now from Western Province Handball is Kuda Chizema. Kuda is, of course, the Secretary General for Western Province Handball. Kuda, welcome to Sport Federation TV.
Thank you, JB. Thank you for having me.
Kuda, first time for us to have you on the show, and in fact, I think it's been a long time since we spoke about handball in Cape Town, handball in the Western Cape. We obviously recently saw handball at the Olympics and everybody was watching handball. Very exciting. But tell us, how is handball doing in Cape Town?
Okay, handball is growing. Handball is growing every day. We've been working day and night. We've been trying to get it back on the map. We've been on it since 2017. We embarked on a project called Try Handball. You can see it behind me.
Yes.
This project has been we've been pushing with this project to try and cover all the stakeholders, basically, having all the institutions coming back, having the schools starting, because we had to go back and do our homework and start back from the school structures, going up to the club levels along.
So have you got a couple of schools doing handball as well, not just clubs?
Yeah. We've got quite a lot of schools now that were introduced to handball. Before the pandemic, we actually had close to 50 schools that were part of the program.
Wow, that's fantastic. What's the average age for people to start handball as kids? How old are they normally when they start playing handball?
Okay, so what we have is we have mini handball, then we have schools handball, then we have senior handball. So mini handball starts from about 6, 7 years old, going to about 9 years, 10 years. Then they go into that age group where we put them into the under 12s, under 14s, up to the under 20s. Then we go to the senior level. So,
do you need to be very fit to play handball?
You need to be. Handball is the second fastest sport in the world, actually.
And just tell us a little bit about the game itself. I mean, how many players in a team? How long is the average match?
Okay, so an average match for juniors. I'll start with the juniors. Maybe it's 15 minutes a half, and it's 2 halves basically. So it's 30 minutes for juniors. For women, it's 20 minutes a half, and for men, it's 30 minutes half.
And the teams themselves, I mean, and players, number of players in a team.
Yes.
Reserves. How does the squad structure work?
All right, so we've got 7 players in a team basically, where you have the goalkeeper and 6 infield players. Because it's more or less like soccer, but it's soccer played with hands. So you have a goalkeeper and 6 infield players, and the goalposts that we use are like the 5-a-side goalposts.
Yes.
So yes, so we also have running subs as well. So you can have a bench that is 7 people on there, but it's running subs. You go in, you go out as you please.
A big event for you guys then this weekend. I mean, we see all the banners and signage that you've got there behind you. Is this? Tell us a little bit about this event coming up this weekend.
All right, this is the first of its kind in a while. Since, like you said, handball had fallen in the Western Cape. We were not hearing about it anymore. So this is just the fruits of the project Try Handball that we have been pushing. So we are going to be having 7. We have 7 of our strongest clubs in the Western Cape. Then we have 2 guests as well, 2 teams from Eastern Cape, Kempa United and Nemato. Then we have a team from Zimbabwe as well, a women's team, City of Harare, coming through as our guests to that tournament. So
how are we doing as Cape Town, as Western Cape? you've got some contenders coming down to visit this weekend. How's our athletes doing? Do we have some medal hopes?
Yes, we definitely do because the Western Cape, in terms of handball structures, we are the best at it, and we have the best development structure in the country. So long, I should say. We have produced quite a lot. Recently, at the just ended national championships, the youth championships, we had almost 13 players that were selected in the national team. So it's actually a plus for us, and those same boys and girls are involved with our clubs as well. So we do have a strong a chance to the medal salon.
You mentioned development, Kuda. So, how does one get started with handball? Do you join a club? Do you join a school?
Since we have taken it back to the starting point where we need to have schools playing handball and clubs can then be parent, they can then parent the schools in their areas so long. So what we do is when we introduce it to a school and there's kids that are interested, we then go out to the club that is in that area, then tell them, no, we have certain schools that are around you. As a mandate from our constitution, clubs are supposed to develop the schools around them as well. So
Yes.
we help them do that. Then they take over as clubs so that these kids have got continuity as well from school to the club.
And how difficult is it to get started? From an equipment point of view, from a time point of view, what do you need if I want to start playing handball? What must I bring?
Okay, so if you want to start playing handball, handball is the easiest sport to develop, I believe so, because you just need to have goalposts in front of you and a ball. Basically, we use the size one, two, and three balls. So any ball can work with us, especially on the development level. We just go to a school, we put beams there. If they don't have goalposts, we start developing the sport as it is. Then as we go, we start working on it. So when we go to schools, even a netball court can actually serve the purpose for developing handball. So it doesn't really take much for us to grow. But as we go forward, maybe coming into the club structures and all, we struggle much when it comes to equipment, getting the right equipment. We do get funding. We do get donors for that equipment as well from outside the country because it's hard to get handball balls and equipment here in the country. So
Anybody can do it. Anyone can sign up. You don't need to buy any
anyone
special
can sign up.
equipment,
There we go.
no expensive gear. You just have to
Yep.
arrive with a passion and be interested.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's easier for soccer people and for netball people to just come in because it's basically more or less like soccer, but on the soccer played with hands, and netball the passing and movement as well. So it's a cocktail of so many sports that make up handball, which becomes easier for people to just come in and just be on it just like that.
And then Chizema, sorry, Kuda, the coaching structures. Just give us a little bit of while we have you on the line, some info on the coaching structures. How does that work, and do you have coaching education opportunities and so on?
Oh yes, we were unfortunate the past year and a half because of the COVID period. We were going to receive an instructor from International Handball Federation to come and do a level D with our coaches because most of our coaches were nationally recognized, but they were not internationally recognized.
Yeah.
So we were bringing in the IHF guys, but CAB, the African Federation, has at the moment we are having a coaching workshop this in the middle of November. We're gonna be having a coaching workshop. So already we are getting to that level where our coaches are gonna be internationally accredited, which is a plus for us. But also as a province, we have been putting our coaches into classes, and we were doing well with that because we have junior coaches, we have developmental coaches, we have our senior coaches as well that will help us with the provincial structures so long.
Kuda, that sounds fantastic. It looks like handball is on the rise. We're very excited. Good luck for the weekend. Hopefully, we get lots of
Thank you
pictures
so
and
much.
videos, and hopefully, all your athletes are going to absolutely enjoy themselves. And we can't wait to catch up with you guys again.
Thank you, JP. Thank you very much.
There we go, folks. Western Province Handball, they've got their club championships this weekend, or introductory club championships this weekend. Super exciting. Handball, of course, an Olympic sport and a national sport. And as you heard Kuda say there, the Western Cape is dominating. That is really good news. And, of course, we look forward to catching up with Kuda and his team again to find out how their event went over the weekend. Folks, we're going to take an ad break. When we come back from the break, we'll catch up with Chris Nordier from Western Cape Climbing. They've got their junior provincial championships this weekend.